How do we keep secure information secure? How can we use math to create a secure message that will be difficult for someone to decipher? What is the importance of keeping your information secure? How can we use math to encode and decode messages to make them more secure? Identity theft is the fastest growing crime in America. Companies are coming up with new ways to protect their customers from cyber thieves. In the private sector or the military, keeping secrets has never been more important.
A doctor, running late for a medical convention, loses his computer, exposing thousands of patient records to identity theft. Data breaches can happen that easily. We don't believe you should be a victim of someone else's mistake. We're LifeLock. We constantly monitor the web, so if any of your personal information is misused, we're on it.
Are you Thomas Gates?
Yes.
We got something that we'd like you to take a look at. I hear you're quite good with puzzles and riddles.
It's a coded message. It's a Playfair cipher.
Playfair cipher?
Can you decode it? That cipher is impossible to decode without the key.
What do you mean by a key?
Keyword or phrase.
I believe what you need is right there.
What are some methods for encoding and decoding messages? How do we decode and encode messages? How can we use matrices to encode messages better? What happens when we multiply our matrix by the encoding matrix? How do we undo matrix multiplication? What are some advantages and limitations of using matrices to encode and decode messages? To use matrices to encode a message that will be decoded by another group in the class. The group will then present their encoded message and the decoded message to the class. The groups are given a task to create a method and a matrix to encode and decode a message. After the group brainstorms ideas, they will select one method to try. The students will test their method to make sure that it can encode and decode properly, and then make changes as needed. If everything works properly, the students will then give their encoded message to another group to decode. Each group will now try to decode the original encoded message.
This is the message what I got, and we decode and he decode.
This is what we use to decode the message. Our determinant was 19. The number that we typed in for Wolfram Alpha was 10.
And this is the final decoded message. It says, so we beat on, boats against the current, born ceaselessly back into the past.